Hey there YouTube, Corncob Piper coming at you. This is number 14 of my Puffin Burley series, my personal quest to become a Burley lover. It is now August the 3rd. I should have been done with this series by the end of last month, but I found it to be too difficult to try to do tobacco review, every day or every other day. As you all know, life happens, so I just slowed them down, and my plan was just to get through them whenever I got through them, but I'm pretty much to the point now where I'm kind of burleyed out. I am definitely craving some Dunhill My Mixture 965 and also some Hobbit Swedes. So I've gotten some messages from some of you guys and gals asking me if I was planning on reviewing, other families of tobacco such as aromatics and Virginias, a lot of Kia blends like English and Balkan. And I never really thought about it, but since I got such great feedback from you guys, I've decided to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to finish off this series, but I'm going to take a break from it because I just need to step away for Burleys for a little bit. I've been smoking nothing but Burley tobaccos, Burley-based tobaccos since the 1st of July, and just need a change. So, I'm going to mix it up, and I'm going to add a few more review categories. We'll name them, Puffin aromatics, obviously self-explanatory. Puffin Virginia, which is going to be a Virginia-based, Virginia Periques, any kind of flakes, things of that matter. And then Puffin Kia, which will include, Balkans and Englishes. And then since I do have quite a few Christmas blends stocked up, I'll do a separate series, Puffin Christmas blends come the holiday season this fall and winter. So today's review, which is going to be the last Burley review for a while, I wanted to make sure it was going to be a good one for you guys. This is going to be another LJ Peretti blend, and I can't really speak highly enough for LJ Peretti. They're a local B&M tobacconist out of Boston, Mass. that also sells online. If you've never tried any of those blends, you've really got to do your favor and head on over to their website and order up a couple. The ones that I would suggest are Blend 333, Blend 52, and also the one that we're going to be reviewing today, which is Cuban Mixture. So those are the three that I would try. They're a little bit more pricey than most online retailers. It's $4 or $5 for an ounce. However, you can definitely taste the quality in their tobaccos, and is well worth it. Shipping is relatively low cost there. So with shipping, I think you can order up an ounce of those three blends for like $20. Definitely would recommend you do so. So this is, and let me get to my note page here. I apologize. This supposedly is LJ Peretti's oldest tobacco blend. This was blended by LJ Peretti himself, and LJ Peretti's been around since 1870, and this blend was created sometime around early 1900s. So, 115 years this blend's been around, a long time. It is, and let me show you the tobacco here. This is ribbon cut, but it's a ribbon with basically some coarse cuts in there as well. I'm assuming that's probably some of the cigar leaf, but let me show you what the tobacco blend looks like here. So there we go, and this is made up of 7 different tobaccos. Moisture level is perfect right out of the pouch. And this is made up of Burley, Cavendish, unsweetened Cavendish, cigar leaf, Kentucky, Kia, Maryland, Oriental, and Virginia. I know that sounds like a lot, and you're thinking, are you sure this is a Burley blend? It definitely is. The Burley is definitely the main component in this blend and the star of the show, but we'll get to that once we light up here in a minute. This also says that there's a mint topping. I kind of question it. I think they might actually put some mint leaf, some dried mint leaf in this blend as well, maybe an 8th component. but I could be wrong. So let's go ahead and I'll actually remember this time to do the pouch note before I light up. So first off, you get hit with just a strong sweetness. It's just a super sweet smelling blend. Definitely pick up some tanginess. I'm assuming from the Kentucky and the Oriental. And then obviously you could pick up the dark fruit smell of the Burleys in there. I don't really hit much on the Latakia. Maybe in the background, I'm getting a little bit of that smokiness. And then every once in a while when you take a whiff of this, you can get a slight smell of peppermint as well, which I think is dried mint leaf. But it smells great. This is a great smelling blend, and smokes very, very nice as well. So let's go ahead, get this guy lit up. Smoking it today out of my Corncob Nation 2017 Pipe of the Year. Awesome pipe. This is kind of a fluffy blend, a lighter blend. Will puff up on you quite a bit during that initial light, so I would recommend not packing your pipe all the way to the top. And I prefer this one to be packed loosely. Prefer this one in a cob over a briar. I actually did not care for it too much in a briar, but it is exceptional in a cob. Definitely would recommend, if you smoke some of this, to do it in a cob. And it smokes without a bite. Very few relights on this. Like I said, the moisture level was pretty much perfect. I do end up with a little bit of dottle on this one. It will not burn to a fine white ash for me. Right down at the bottom of the bowl, but 95% of the tobacco will get used up. And a little bit of dottle is okay. It's just part of pipe smoking. So for the review of this, or the tasting notes, we'll start off first with the star of the show in here, which is just a quintessential L.J. Peretti Burley. Out of all the Burley tobaccos out there, I like the taste of Peretti's the best. Cornell and Deal comes in a very, very close second. But there is just such a significant, pungent nuttiness to L.J. Peretti's tobacco that it's very, very hard to put in words. You really just have to try one of their Burley blends to really discover what I'm speaking about there. Best I would describe it as a combination between toasted walnut, almond, and pecans, somewhere in there. Also somewhat earthy and savory. But I really love their Burley. It is some great tasting stuff. Now there's some cigar leaf in here, which it's very, very hard to actually pick out cigar leaf in a blend. You're never going to get what you would think, the taste of smoking a cigar would be, because cigar leaf is used very, very much as a condiment. I would say probably most blends with cigar leaf have somewhere in there around 5% or maybe less cigar leaf. But it mellows the blends out quite a bit, I think, in my opinion. Adds a nice earthiness to it and just really, really helps to round out a blend nicely, which this cigar leaf in here does quite well. And I'm surprised more tobacco blenders don't use cigar leaf in their blends. Maybe they just don't want to be associated with cigar smokers, because cigar smoking is much, much bigger niche than pipe smoking is. I'm not really sure what it is. But I think there's some blends out there that would do quite nicely with the addition of cigar leaf. I mean, just to the top of my head, you know, Haunted Bookshop, which is a nice Burley Perique Virginia blend, very, very spicy. I think if they had made a blend similar to that and put some cigar leaf in it, it probably would have been quite delicious. So I'm hoping at some point Cornell and Deal will do something like that. And I guess now while I'm saying it, I could probably order up some Haunted Bookshop and some Cornell and Deal cigar blending tobacco, and probably make some of my own. Add, you know, 5 or 10% cigar leaf to it, and I bet it'd be pretty good. That might be something I do for myself in the future. Next up that I get here would be the Orientals. Definite tartness, tanginess, a little bit vinegary, just very, very nice. I like the added tartness that it adds to the blend. And then the Maryland, Kentucky, and Virginia. That's obviously where I was getting all the smell of the sweetness from. And it definitely carries through to the smoke. Definitely on the sweeter side, which I don't mind because I have somewhat of a sweet tooth. But I think if there wasn't that, you know, that sweetness to this blend, it probably would not be as good. It just makes this blend very, very nice. There's a lot of Kia in here. I have a very, very hard time finding it. Maybe once I get through halfway through the bowl and the blend mellows a little bit, you may pick up some hints of smokiness from the Latakia here and there. But the percentage of Latakia in this blend has got to be very, very small. First off, because I have a hard time smelling it in the pouch note. Second off, because I have a hard time tasting it as well. But you definitely, from time to time, know that it was there. Like I said, the lead component in here is the Burley. I would say second off is going to be those Virginias. So the Kentucky, the Virginia, the Maryland, the sweeter style tobaccos. And I don't know what the proportions of those are. I'm sure the Virginia that's in here is probably a red Virginia because of the sweetness that's in here. But it will take you a little bit into the bowl before you start to distinguish all those other flavors. Initially, you're just going to get hit with that nutty Burley. Maybe once you get a quarter way through the bowl. All right, sorry about that, guys. My battery in my camera just died on me. I had to go change the battery out. I'm trying to remember where I left off. I think I was talking about the other components in here. So the Burley is definitely all you're going to get when you first light up. Once you get, you know, a couple minutes into the bowl, it's like a taste explosion in your mouth. You start to really pick up the sweetness as well as the tanginess. There are some very, very subtle hints of like a vinegary taste in here, which I quite enjoy. And then you'll pick up wisps of peppermint every once in a while. So, like I said, it's just my guess. The peppermint flavor in here tastes very, very natural to me. If you've ever had fresh peppermint, that's what the wisps of that taste remind me of, which leads me to believe that there's probably some dried peppermint leaf in here. However, they could have found a very, very close match topping and just lightly misted the tobacco with it, because, like I said, you don't really pick up on that a lot, but it is a nice touch that I've never experienced before in any other tobacco, and I quite enjoy it. So this really is, guys, a awesome blend. Definitely one that I'm going to recommend to you. Like I said, once again, I would recommend you smoke it in a cob. I find it easier to distinguish all the different flavors in a cob. When I smoked it in the briar, I had a harder time picking out the different flavor profiles of the tobacco. You definitely get them all in the cob. So for my 5-star rating, let me check my notes to make sure I did not miss anything. So yeah, that looks like it. So for my 5-star rating of LJ Peretti Cuban mixture, I'm going to give this a 4.5 stars out of 5. This is one of my favorite Burley blends that I have smoked so far. Just a great all-around blend. I would feel very comfortable smoking this on a hot day, as well as a nice, cool, crisp morning, which is a nice touch as well. So once again, guys, 4.5 stars out of 5 for LJ Peretti Cuban mixture. Like I said, this is going to be my last Burley review for a while, but stay tuned for some of my other reviews on different tobaccos. I know tomorrow the first thing that I'm going to be smoking is some Dunhill My Mixture 965 because I've been craving that the most. Thanks for watching, YouTube, and as always, keep on piping.